Hi there, Sharon here, Be Divine Vintage. As you know, I've been working on this Water Babies journal for a little while. I just thought I'd give you a little glimpse of how I work. As you can see, my work desk is untidy. It might appear untidy. It does appear untidy. But to me, I know where absolutely everything is that I need. And this journal is on this paper to protect the cover, because the cover is silk and printed cotton. Let's show you the back. Oh no, I can't. The back's all tucked in and masking tape down, but the back is this pure silk. So yeah, so that's the desk. But over here I have these drawers, and I go through phases of just making bits and pieces. So in here I've got tags and things that I've made previously. So when I'm doing a journal, I always have a look in here and think, oh yeah, I could use that. Some of these are tags as well that I've been gifted. So I always have a little selection to call upon. That's pretty, I'm definitely going to use that one. So, yep, so that is tags. I have, in here, I have altered paper clips. So this is when I've gone swaps or little phases of altering things. In here, lots of little bits that I've made ready for Halloween. And so on. Oh, those are cards that I've bought that I think might come in. So yeah, so I have all these drawers, and that's fabric envelopes. And I think below that I've got dyed envelopes. So yeah, these are sort of pieces of paper that I've decorated and may not have used. Ooh, that's pretty, I could use that in the Water Babies. So yeah, so that is how I like to work. So I do have pre-made things, but I do make as I go along as well. So let me show you the journal so far. Here we go. Oh, that's the heart I've just put on top. So this is the front of the journal. I'm not sure if I need to put on more yet. I've got a lovely big dangle that I made here with things that I found in the water as I've been out and about. Pretty things that, like a little tea set plate there that I've just fixed and put the gold on. Pieces of pottery, copy of the china doll's head. So this will, when we're finished, just hang on the side there, just there. So I'm sort of keeping to the watery pastel colours throughout the journal. There is a video on how I made that, if you look back. So here we are so far. So put it on camera so you can see here. This is the front page, and in there I know it's cigarette cards, and I don't encourage cigarette smoking, but the cards are so pretty with the flowers on, and I thought the pink and the yellow. Hold on tight to your dreams, that's little Tim Holtz. This is something I've eco-dyed myself, and some ribbon that I actually bought at my textile group I attend, but it just matches perfectly. And then there's a couple of vintage plates here. I've not damaged them, they are as they are. I've considered backing them onto card, but then I thought no, let's just leave them as originals. So this is the 1930s actual Water Babies. It's not a magazine, it's more like a newspaper type thing, like a comic, but it was the Water Babies story. And then as we go on here, I've put a card, and this has got stitching on. I've put a little bit of vintage lace at the bottom, and as you can see, I've stenciled the card, put a butterfly, and there's a pocket there waiting for me to put something in. trying to lay this a bit flatter. So here we have just a flip out, and in there I've put a postcard, a little boy in his clothes are pastel. I'm saying it's a boy, it could be a little girl, and that's a little birthday card. Little Donnie, wishing you a happy birthday. That's just in there. I do like to use, and I'm using more and more, vintage ephemera. This page, I have put some flowers onto here. This is where I just strengthen the spine, put some flowers on. And in this pocket here, we've got another vintage postcard. No, it's not a postcard, it's an advertising card for Henry Weinheimer and Co. Tea and Coffee Department. And then a little calling card of Bridget Fash, that's in there. The Waterpapers was written in the Victorian times, so I am trying to stick to ephemera from around that period of time. I love this lace. I do like the colour and the pattern on it. So that's down the edge there. This is vintage paper, that's why it's curled over. It is vintage paper that I've used from a vintage ledger. You can see the tab there at the bottom. Here we've got a little flip. We've got a beautiful picture of a lady there in a Tim Holtz frame. Again, one of those little flowers. And inside, I know this isn't from the Victorian times, but it's a little pocket there, credit card receipts, handy holder for credit card receipts, trading stamps, etc. From America. That's in there. On this side, I've put some vintage lace down the side again. We've got a pocket here, and we've got a happy birthday card for Fred, wishing you well, from his auntie. And this is, I've bought some I think they're vintage trading cards, a huge box full, so I'm going to be putting those in my shop. But this was made in Charleston. I haven't covered the back. I'm leaving the original artist there on the back. It's another good way to spread the cards. And also on here, we've got a little ticket, which is pinned on by one of those tiny Tim Holtz paper clips. We've got an altered safety pin here with a little girl on, and some Tim Holtz. There's a library card, a do not crush, and a flower on there. On this side, this is paper that I've hand dyed myself. Just looking at Puppy rolling around the garden. We have quite a steep hill at the back of the garden, and she's like rolling. I don't think she realises she's sliding down at the same time. The strengthener again, and I've put this little butterfly on applique that I hand dyed. I wanted to keep this journal as flat as I can. However, with the amount of ephemera I'm putting in it, it's not quite as flat as I'd planned. So here we've got a little money envelope, and there is a video on how I did that. And in here is a tag. In fact, this was a tag that I made for a fairy journal. However, it didn't make it into that journal, so I think I've made too many, but the colours, the watery colours, go perfect. So that sits in there. That tag flips open. Is one of the hearts that I made in the past. I just love the pastel, the watery. And here's a card that I made. It's got some Tim Holtz. It's got lots of layers. It's got vintage paper. This is vintage paper from a sales book. It's like tissue paper. It's got the Tim Holtz wallpaper pieces there, the flowers. It's Tim Holtz. It's got gilding on, another Tim Holtz. This is from a vintage ledger, and then gesso over the top. So that, and it's been through the embosser. So that was in my drawer of things I'd made in the past, and that will just go perfectly in there. I've put some of the vintage ribbon. No, it's not ribbon, it's fabric. Pretty vintage fabric. And I've torn that I'm using to write the journal. I've torn a strip down and put this hand-dyed sari silk ribbon that I've done myself, and the little girl, little beach girl on there, and that just falls over. So that is where I'm up to, and I really am enjoying creating this journal. So this page is where I am next. I won't cover this. I'm going to leave all the original graphics because I think they're too nice to cover. What do you think? So I've got all this to do. Well, that's an envelope that I made. I do a snippet roll. That's in there. So with having everything close by me, I just feel I can work like this. And I actually don't work like that. I work very snail's pace. Been making this since Christmas. I'm just slow, and I've got other projects on the go, and I've not been well, so life's taken its toll on me recently. So I've been my mojo. I'm trying to get it back. I think it's coming, but you can tell in my voice because my voice has been quite subdued when I've looked back on my videos. So I'm hoping to get my attenuations and my little stories and all those sort of things back into my videos, and it will come back. Things are just going to take time. So that's that little heart I picked out. That's another little pocket that probably would go quite pretty on there, or should I put it in further up? Ugh, decisions. So please subscribe, please like, please comment. It'll help my channel. I love to read the comments, and I always reply, usually pretty quickly as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.